And we are live. Welcome, mystery and thriller fans. I'm your on-air host, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to welcome back for the fourth time to Mystery and Thriller Mavens, my friend, the amazing Yasmin Angoe, here to give us the inside scoop on her brand new book, Not What She Seems. Yasmin, welcome back. Tell us about this book.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me again for the fourth time. You're such a great pal.
Oh, always. It is a pleasure. It is a highlight of my year to host you, and I love your amazing books. I can't wait to chat about this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Not What She Seems is a new foray for me into domestic thrillers. So it is changed from the usual Nina Knight action thriller, espionage, and all that. It is a Southern thriller. So it is set in the state where I live, which is South Carolina, in the Low Country, so along the coast. And it is about this town pariah named Jacinda Brodie, and she comes back home after 6 years of exile, self-exile, town exile, all the exiles, to find out that there's a new person in town who the town has totally fallen in love with. But Jack is like, yeah, there's something not quite right with this person, but no one will believe Jack because they really think that she is a bad seed and that she had something to do with the death of her father 6 years ago.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God. So many delicious things. You know, I love me a cold case. I love to go digging into the past. I love complicated women, and I am so excited to chat about this because, oh my God, I love Nina Knight, my best friend Nina. And so I was so excited and also nervous to foray into this new world of Jacinda, AKA Jack. So I have so many questions. I know everybody's logging on and they have so many questions. So can't wait to get into every single delicious detail. But first, I just want to welcome everyone because we are broadcasting live to eight different destinations across Facebook and YouTube. So mystery and thriller loving friends, no matter where you watch from, you in the right time, this is the right place. It is Mystery Monday. And because Mondays can be murder, we're going to make it a little less painful and get your week off to a killer start. So if you've been here before, you know how it works. Get those questions going in the comments. Ask Yasmin anything. Sharon is joining us from YouTube. She says, hi, Sara. It is so nice to meet you, Yasmin. And I just love that because my goal in founding Mystery and Thriller Mavens was to connect readers to their favorite authors and introduce them to their next favorite authors. And here she is, your next favorite author. Yes. Robin, welcome to the conversation, joining us from Facebook saying, hello, Sara and Yasmin.
Hi, Robin with 2 Ds. I love it.
I love it. Kim, welcome to the conversation. Thanks for all the hearts on Facebook, you guys. Kim, welcome to the conversation saying, hello, book friends. Hi, book friend. Renee is joining us from Southeast Florida via Facebook. Hi, Renee. Great to have you.
Hi, Renee.
Margaret Pinard, our fellow author, joining us from the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon, saying a bad seed reference. Why do we love a bad seed reference, Yasmin? What's the fascination?
I don't know. You know, those bad seeds, they look good on the outside, and then just on the inside, you're just
rotten to the core, and we love it. And there's something about, seeing the truth, and the truth, and you feel it in your bones, and nobody else sees it, and you're like, wake up. Renee says, Yasmin, I loved your other novels. Yay, a fellow Nina Knight fan. And she says, I can't wait to read Not What She Seems. Okay, so Yasmin, tell us all about it, because for 3 books, we've been in the world of my favorite female assassin, Ms. Nina Knight, international assassin. And to go from that to the Low Country of South Carolina, as you were living vicariously through Nina, were you thinking, I really want to center something, I want to get my hand at, Gothic Southern, I want to try a domestic thriller? Tell us about this.
Yeah. So what's interesting is, well, I read across, all genres or whatever, but I really read a lot of domestic thrillers, and I love, the intimacy of them. Nina is very big and in what she does, and she's very, meticulous. She's very talented and well-trained. And so I really wanted to challenge myself, one, to write like an intimate thriller set in, the setting that I love. So I love going to the low country, like to Charleston and Hilton Head, and being along the water and things. I think it's so pretty there, right? And so idyllic. And then like at night, it's like so spooky because of like the trees, banyan trees and live oaks, and everything is like old, and there's swamps, so things can like come out and eat you. There's gators all around. So I was just like, this place looks so beautiful and picturesque. And then like, underneath, there are things that can like eat you. And I don't know, I have a fascination with things like eating you. Or maybe that's a fear. So I just wanted to like kind of like talk about that. And I love Southerners. I'm from Northern Virginia, so coming here and encountering everyone who is like so sweet, and they sound so wonderful and pleasant, and they say bless your heart, and you think that, oh, they're just loving me and they're blessing me, but they're really not. And so that I've had to learn that in the 10 plus years that I've lived here. And so I just thought that was really cool, and to kind of like twist that into a thriller.
That is so cool. I love that. And I'm still thinking about what you said, that you have a fascination with things that eat you, or maybe it's a fear. I think I have that. Say it's about not being able to see what's under there, the evil of that.
Right. Like I can watch Jaws every time it comes on, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this, because my biggest fear is to go in the water and to be eaten by a shark. So, I just have like this weird thing about animals eating me instead of the other way around.
Yeah, it's fair to, nobody wants to be eaten.
Right.
Margaret is saying old South Gothic vibes. It's not just the trees. Exactly. Although those beautiful old banyans and the weeping willows, and there is something really, really beautiful.
There's just this setting, and you're just like, oh, there's a whole lot of history and a whole lot of like scare, up in there, and you just want to know all the stories and the secrets, but then you also don't. So yeah, it's all of that.
Also, did you watch the murder documentary on the Netflix? Yeah. So
Yes.
I have a special fascination with the Low Country now, because I've never been out there, and now I'm very curious and very interested.
Yeah, that's only a couple hours away. And so, yeah, that was all the talk of the town during, and I watched the whole thing, and it was wild. So yeah, it's interesting to be here and to have had all of that happen and hear from it from, locally, and then on the national and international level. And you're just like, wow, it's just, a little old town in South Carolina that I never heard of. And now we all know. So.
Exactly. Now, speaking of this fear of getting eaten by a shark or a gator, Renee wants to know, are you a good swimmer? Could you outswim that shark?
Now, Renee, if I'm afraid of being eaten by a shark, ain't nobody going into the ocean. My ankle. Am I a good swimmer? You mean doggy paddling? Like, I like to believe. Doesn't everybody who can't swim, they say, I can swim underwater, like, but like, no.
Yasmin, I was just at the Nantucket Book Festival, and I thought to myself, I'm going to get in this ocean, but the water was too cold for me. So I got a wetsuit to keep myself warm. And my husband said, with that shiny black suit, you look like a seal, and a shark is going to come and, chomp you. And I thought to myself, today, not today, Satan, like not today. I want to live.
No, I don't want to watch Good Morning America and see your story on there, please.
Yeah, exactly. I want to keep my limbs. Margot, welcome to the conversation. Hello to you.
There's my Margot. That's my friend. Hi, Margot. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Margot. It's so great to have you. Elizabeth, welcome to the conversation, saying hello, ladies. Yasmin, what critters are you least fond of in the setting that you're writing about? Yeah, so take us in there.
Yeah, I don't think I put this critter in the book because it is my absolute fear. I hate spiders. I just cannot. And so those are the critters that really, or anything that looks close to it. Now, so crabs, kind of look close to it, but when they're in a crab boil and all you have are the clusters, then that's okay. I try not to think about it. And they do that a lot here, the crab boils and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be spiders. Spiders are anything with many, many feet.
Yasmin, I was on the plane to move to live in Australia when I read in the book about
Mhm.
Australia that they have more spiders and snakes than anywhere else in the world. And I got there and I had a spider in my bedroom that was no joke this big. And I was like, that's when I realized I was like, I was not meant for this.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope.
Sharon has a question about your writing process, and I would love to hear this answer.
Mhm.
Yasmin, when you sit down to write, does it feel like you are watching a movie in your head? Bring us into that moment.
Yeah, into the crazy moments of Yasmin's head. Yeah, so I do see them as a movie, and I actually before I even sit and write, I'm thinking about the story pretty much all the way through. I don't write everything down word for word, so I'm not like a strategic like outliner where it's all written down. I just kind of think about it in my head, and I might jot down some like lines that come to me or something about a character that just jumps out at me, and I'll do it I'll jot that down so that I remember. But the scene or scenes, because I don't write in order either. So they'll just kind of pop in my head and they'll just kind of, toss around in there for a while until I feel like, oh, well, I figured out the scene or whatever. And then I'll sit down and write that scene. But until I've really thought it through and I've envisioned, how the characters are going to be, how the story is going to play out, I won't sit down and write because then it doesn't feel natural and creative, and I'm not able to like really discover or open up like what was going on in my head, and then sometimes it changes from what went on in my head. But yeah, typically I have to have like a full, even if I don't have everything, I have to have like the full story, the full like arc of what's going to happen, with some of the main people, before I sit down and write it.
Wow. Okay. Wait. So, Yasmin, I did not know this about you. I just want to make sure I understand.
Mhm,
You literally think of the whole book in your head, start
mhm,
to finish, A to
mhm.
Z, the whole thing, and then you start to write it. But how do you keep all that in your head?
I don't know. It changes, but like the overall like who's gonna kill who, and why they're gonna kill, or why they're doing the things that they're doing. That always stays because I need to know the why for the all of the characters, even minor ones.
Ooh.
Every action is very intentional, and so there's always like a why behind the things that they do. And so if I have that why, that really guides me with the backstory, with character motivations and the actions, staying true, making sure that the characters stay true to themselves all the way through for the most part, is knowing what's motivating them, their why. And so yeah, like it just and like I said, I do jot things down so that I don't forget, especially if it's like a real like killer line and I'm like, oh my gosh, this line, I have to have this line. I'll wake up in the middle. Sometimes I'm thinking about it in my sleep. So I'm constantly thinking about the story in my head, and it goes over and over and over until I feel, okay, this is really good. Now I got my momentum. I'm so excited to put it down. And then like I'm writing. So I when I finally sit down to write, I can write like really fast, but it takes me a long time to get to that point. Does that make sense? So I'm a slow thinker, but I'm a quick, writer, tapper, whatever.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is so fascinating. I can't believe have known you since Nina book 1 and I did not know this about you, Yasmin.
Oh,
Thank
I
you
might
for
have
the
not said
great
anything because it sounds crazy when I say it. Like it sounds like,
no.
there's no rhyme or reason, but there sort of is a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for that great question, Sharon. Margot saying such a great question, right, Margot? That was such a great question that gave us this juicy answer and this glimpse into Yasmin's process. I love this.
Mhm.
Margaret saying, interesting. I can't hold all of the details long enough to plot out an ending. So I just got to start writing. Yeah. So I'm picturing you just months thinking and thinking and thinking, and then you're just getting Jack's whole story, the backstory, her dad's murder, the
Mhm.
whole thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I am loving this. Renee wants to know, so we need to know more. Do you make a board for this to plot it out, or a vision? Are you know, a picture board, a vision board, a plot board, narrative arc? No, just all in your head. Oh my
It's
God.
all in my head and post-it notes. Like I have post-it notes. Well, you can't really see this, so it's got a lot of writing on it. But I have like post-it notes all over the place because I'm a jotter, so I'll just jot things. And even if I have an idea for scenes or whatever, I'll go. I use Scrivener to do my drafting. So I'll go into right because I like to move things around like a puzzle. But like and I'm talking about like my actual writing, not look like they're board or anything like that. So, I might write a line so I know like what that scene is going to be, or even like one word is going to be, I don't know, kill such and such or whatever. So I know that that's what that scene is going to be because that's what I've kind of thought out. And so by the end of when I actually sit and start writing, so I'll have like a whole bunch of, text or whatever they call those little, boxes or whatever, where you can start typing in there of one or two words so I know what those scenes are and put them in order and things like that. So that's pretty much about like what I have. So yeah, everything comes to first.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Renee is saying this makes total sense to
Doesn't
her,
it?
right?
Pretty
Now,
much
once you're
gonna be
laying it out,
very
that
clear.
does make total sense. That is so cool.
Okay, thank you. Thank y'all for saying that.
Margaret saying Yasmin's process reminds me of rally drivers envisioning all of their turns before the race begins. Oh, good analogy. She's just there plotting out her race and then pedal to the metal. She zooms along. I
I
love
like
that.
that. Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, Scrivener in the house. Me too. I'm team Scrivener. I love Scrivener. Thank you so much. Oh, right. Margaret says she's delaying her session in Scrivener right now to listen to us. Oh, Margaret, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
I want to share some okay, I want to share some of the praise, but first I want to get to this question from Elizabeth. She says, I wonder if Yasmin, if you would share your path to being published.
Yeah, so my path was a long and arduous one. There was, a big detour. I really started, back in the early 2000s. So that's aging me when we didn't have like just email. I mean, I guess there was email, but it was, self-addressed stamped envelopes, if y'all remember that. And you had to like send the agents like 3 chapters and that self-addressed stamped envelope so that when they rejected you, they would send it back to you with your stamp. That was the worst. And looking up their names in publishers marketplace, the big book, right? So it started then, and it actually started with like women's fiction. I wrote a book, and was trying to get an agent for it. But then we had just recently had a baby, and my spouse at the time was in the military. So when he left to be deployed, then I just kind of put that down and was going to take care of, our child and just kind of be a mom and a military mom. So it was like 20 years and a whole other husband later and everything like that, I was like, you know what, I need to get back to the thing that I loved. I was a teacher, all of that. And my teaching, one of the things that I taught actually influenced the book as well, that I hadn't, really told anyone that yet. But anyway, so long story short, the path to publishing was a long one. When I really picked it up back in 2017, that's when I got on Twitter and I started doing like the research because I was like, I'm going to write this book. I had Nina that I had already kind of like was thinking about for like 10 years. And I was ready to write her, and I needed to prepare myself for that whole entire journey. And I didn't know anything about Twitter, and so that's how I kind of got through and learned, what agents to go with. And I did querying, regular old querying, slush pile, and stuff like that. And eventually, after many, many, many more rejections for her name is Night, I eventually got my agent in 2020.
And then from getting that agent, tell us about how you sold that first Nina book, and which became a trilogy.
Yeah. So 2020, I've said it a few times. I was like, that's 2020 was a really, really horrible year, but it was also a very, very good year because that's the year that I got my agent. And then right after I got my agent, I found out that I won the Eleanor Taylor Bland Award for Emerging Writers of Color from Sisters in Crime. And then we were working, my agent and I, Melissa, we were working on polishing up my manuscript so that she could send that out in August of 2020, when the announcement that I won the award would come out. And so she timed that really, she's really good about that. And she timed it really great. And so it had press for the award. And then that's when the request to talk to me for, book deals and things came in. And we, signed with Thomas and Mercer with Amazon Publishing. And that has been a dream. Like, they're really wonderful. And then like right after that, I mean, just things just, it took a long time, right? It took over 20 years. And then it was still hard, with many, many rejections. And then finally, when everything happened, it happened really, really quickly. And that's not everyone's story, but, and I'm like, I can't believe, because nothing cool like that ever happens to me. So.
Well, you are super cool, Yasmin. And I love when you share your story, which I have been lucky to hear before, because it's so inspiring. And I think this idea that, that things happen easily and someone just like, doodling along, and then they're like, an agent approaches them and is like, oh, you, and you're like, makes it seem not possible for the rest of us. So this is the truth, and the truth makes it possible. So thank you. Elizabeth saying, I see, and I remember those Say's days as well. I'm glad you persisted. Margaret saying she remembers the Say's days too. So do I. Oh, hey, readers, got to read. So good to see you. She's saying, hey, I just got on. Is this book a standalone? If so, was there a process for transitioning from a series to containing the story into just one novel? Great question.
Yeah. Was there a process? Not so much, because I was really ready just to have like a standalone. It was also scary because, I've been in Nina's world for many, many years, right? And I know those characters, and it's easy to kind of figure out what I want Nina to do, and, and things like that. So with this, it was definitely a challenge, because I was like, how am I, like, what kind of story am I going to tell? And now that this is a more intimate, it's a domestic one, this person is going to be very unlike Nina. She doesn't have Nina's skill sets. And I think I saw someone say something about assassin research. Well, I can't tell you about the assassin research. We all know that I cannot. But but like, how do I go from having to research ammunition and weaponry and fight techniques to someone who's a research assistant at a college who doesn't know how to fight, and how is that person going to protect themselves when faced with imminent danger? What would that person do? And so that was the challenge and the fun of trying to figure out, how would Jack come out of this when faced with, someone who might be a killer?
Oh, that's so interesting. Readers got to read. Thank you so much for the question and for joining us. Always such a pleasure to see your name pop up. And Yasmin, that's so true, because Nina, in the words of Liam Neeson, has a very special set of skills. She's she's a trained killer. Nobody stands a chance against Nina. So to go from that to writing a researcher, assistant, sweet Jack. That's a really good point, because, Jack's not packing an assassin's, weaponry. Oh my goodness.
The only thing Jack is packing is her hookah bag. That's it.
Oh my God, I love it. Yes, I want to share some of the incredible praise that this has gotten. Just got a rave review from PW, and they're not the only ones raving. We got Kirkus here talking about endless skeletons in the family closet. I know I love a closet full of family skeletons. I know so many of us do. And then so many of this amazing review. Alex Segura, who I just was hanging out with at Thriller Fest. I love Alex. He won the LA Times book, mystery book. He had some wonderful words of praise, and I want to share that. He says, Yasmin Angoe's Not What She Seems is a powerful, electric novel that explores the deadly secrets that we want to forget. I love that. And the lengths that people will go to keep them buried. A story of painful homecomings and powerful reckonings. Not What She Seems builds upon Angoe's stellar library to present readers with her best novel yet. Congratulations on that rave review. Alex's review may just be my favorite, because he really gets Jack and he gets you, I think. I love that. Margaret says the award goes for packing her hookah bag.
Yeah. We all know Jack. Those of us who have read her, we know she is reckless and she loves that hookah bag. So that's what she's packing.
She loves that. And for those who have not, because the book is not out yet, here is the link to pre-order from our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore. That is, of course, Murder by the Book. So whether you're watching with us on Facebook or YouTube, here is that link to pre-order so that you too can get your mitts on Not What She Seems and immerse yourself in this story. As Alex Gura says, of powerful homecoming and the deadly secrets that we want to forget. All of my favorite things. So here's that link to pre-order, y'all. Get those fingers clicking, get your mitts on this. And then I also wanted to share this review from Ashley Winstead, because I saw her cheering for your PW rave review yesterday, and I thought, I want to share what Ashley had to say, because Ashley was on for her latest book, Midnight is the Darkest Hour, just a few months ago. So what a pleasure to be able to share what she said, which is this. It's long, so I'm just going to read part of it. She says, Jacinda Brodie, you have my sword. Never have I fallen deeper in love with characters than I did the Brodies of beautiful, troubled, small town South Carolina. Yasmin Angoe's incredible blend of talents, her ability to deliver high-intensity blow-ups on par with the best action thrillers, and her deep character work, which shines through her uniquely voicey prose, make Not What She Seems a total knockout. I laughed, I gasped, and shockingly, I cried. In an astonishing feat, Yasmin Angoe delivers hold on, I lost my place reading. Delivers a loud social commentary like me. Readers will marvel at her virtuosity while eagerly awaiting her next. What beautiful praise your book has earned. Beautiful praise.
Words. Thank you.
All these fancy words that you have earned, Queen Angoe. So, and I'm going to put some of the other incredible reviews. Jess Lowry, the Edgar nominated author of most recently The Taken Ones, also weighing in with some praise. And OMG, Queen Clark in the house. Hi, Tracy Clark.
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy Clark. Oh my God, I love Tracy Clark. What a beautiful, brilliant writer.
Yes.
Tracy, thank you so much for being with us tonight and for chiming in. It's so great to have you here. Jess Lowry saying Angoe not only creates believable characters, she crafts a layered mystery woven through with family secrets, sharp-edged revenge, who loves some sharp-edged revenge, me, and unexpected redemption. All that plus it has heart. The climactic scene brought tears to my eyes. I love that. Now, hi, Tracy. We're so happy to have you here. I love Tracy Clark. Now, Yasmin, some people had some questions submitted in advance, so I want to make sure I get to those. Sammy with an I wants to know, do you now prefer writing your Nina International espionage assassin series, or are you going to stay here in the Low Country with the domestic thriller? What's next for you? What do you like better?
Oh, that's good. That's a great question. Honestly, I love them both. Right now, I like doing the domestic thriller. It won't probably stay in the Low Country because I like to, be around in different places. But it's definitely probably going to be domestic for the next couple. But I'm not done with my action thrillers too. I'm just waiting for like the right story to really hit me. That's going to be nice and big and Nina-like, but different, obviously. So I like both. I don't want to, limit myself. I'm limitless. So I just want to do all the things.
You are limitless, Queen Angoe, and this book proves that, as though Nina Knight's first three did not. This one proves there is nothing that you cannot write, nowhere that you cannot go, and we are cheering for you every step of the way. Sharon saying, I loved this interview tonight, and I can't wait to read this novel. Yasmin, you are a delight.
Thank you, Sharon. So are you.
Sharon, I couldn't have said it better myself. Y'all, here again is that link to click and pre-order now from our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore. That is Murder by the Book in Houston, Texas. And you can get your mitts on a copy. And the good folks at Murder by the Book will ship this to you first thing on Thursday morning when the book comes out in the U.S. So pre-order tonight and be the first to receive it. Yasmin Angoe, what a pleasure to host you a fourth time, my brilliant and beautiful, talented friend. Thank you for coming on and give us the inside scoop before the book has come out. And we all wish you a very happy pub day, and we can't wait till you come back again to see what you're going to write next.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for having me and for coming and chatting with me. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
All right, y'all, that is a wrap for Mystery Monday. I hope your week is off to a killer start. May the pages and the days fly by, and I will see you right back here next Monday. Take very good care until then.